Welcome back to Coin's numismatic series, the ultimate destination for coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and numismatists looking to dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. In today's episode, we'll be exploring the top 3 Washington quarter dollar coins that every collector should know about. Whether you're just starting your collection or looking for that next rare find, understanding these coins can help you make better decisions when buying, selling, or investing in Washington quarters. Let's begin with our first coin of the day, the 1981 D Washington quarter dollar. Might seem like an ordinary coin, but there are hidden details that make certain examples worth a significant amount of money. Minted at the Denver Mint, this quarter was struck in a time when the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned away from silver, using a copper-nickel-clad composition instead. Over 500 million of these coins were produced, approximately 575,722,833, which means they are common in circulation. However, fine condition examples typically don't hold much value beyond their face value unless they feature a rare variety, error, or an exceptionally high-grade preservation. One of the key factors that contribute to a coin's value is the presence of errors or varieties. The 1981 D Washington quarter has several noteworthy ones that collectors seek. The double die obverse, DDO variety, is one of the most famous, caused when the die strikes the coin twice slightly misaligned. This results in noticeable doubling on details such as Washington's eye, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date. A DDO in high mint state can fetch anywhere from $5,000 to $7,500, depending on the sharpness of the doubling and the coin's condition. Even in lower grades, such a variety can be worth hundreds of dollars more than a regular strike. Another sought-after error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank plancher isn't properly aligned with the dies during the striking process. Coins that are off-center by 10% to 50% and still retain a visible date are highly collectible. A minor off-center strike might only add a small premium, but an extreme misalignment with a clear date could see values ranging from $1,500 to $3,000. The more dramatic the error, the higher the price it commands in auction. A similar category of errors includes clipped plancher coins, which result from the cutting process at the mint. These exhibit a clean, curved clip along the edge of the quarter and can be worth $500 to $2,000, particularly in mint state condition. Die cracks and cuds are another area of interest for collectors. A die crack occurs when the minting die begins to wear or break, leading to raised lines or lumps on the struck coin. Some 1981 D quarters have been found with prominent die cracks, which can add minor to moderate premiums depending on their size and position. Coins with dramatic die breaks, known as cuds, where a piece of the die has completely broken off, are even more valuable. These types of errors are unique because no two are exactly alike, making them intriguing to error collectors. Despite its high mintage, finding a 1981 D Washington quarter in pristine condition is quite difficult. Circulation causes significant wear, and most surviving examples are in lower grade. In fine condition, the coin is generally only worth face value or slightly above, around 25 cents to $2. However, when we move into higher uncirculated grades, the value increases dramatically. An MS-65 example, which exhibits minimal marks and strong luster, can sell for between $500 and $1,500. At MS-67, prices jump significantly, reaching $5,000 or more, depending on auction demand. The record price for a 1981 D Washington quarter was set in 2022, when a stunning MS-68 example sold for an impressive $10,200 at a major auction. This proves that even modern-clad quarters, which are often overlooked, can hold substantial value when in exceptional condition. The condition of a coin is one of the most critical factors in determining its value. Coins in fine condition, like the one we're discussing, show visible wear on Washington's hair, the high points of his cheek, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. The rim and lettering may also have minor flattening from circulation. While fine condition examples may not fetch high prices, they still hold historical significance as part of the long-running Washington Quarter series. More importantly, they serve as reminders to always check pocket change for rare varieties and errors that could be worth thousands. Collectors who specialize in Washington Quarters often seek out full rolls or mint sets in hopes of finding high-grade specimens. Mint sets, which contain coins struck with better quality control, tend to yield some of the best preserved examples. For the 1981 D quarter, this is particularly important because no proof versions were struck at the Denver Mint. Proof strikes were exclusively made in San Francisco that year. This means that business strike coins from Denver are the only option for collectors who want high-grade specimens of this date and mint mark. Market trends show that demand for Washington quarters remains strong, particularly among collectors who focus on the series as a whole. The popularity of error coins has also surged in recent years, with collectors willing to pay premium prices for dramatic mistakes. As a result, values for rare varieties of the 1981 D quarter have continued to rise. This is especially true for coins with major doubling, high-grade mint state examples, and unusual errors like broad strikes or multiple strikes. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these, it could be worth far more than you'd expect. Ultimately, while a standard 1981 D Washington quarter in fine condition might not be worth much on its own, the right error or variety can transform it into a highly valuable piece. Always examine coins carefully for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other anomalies. Even minor errors can add value, and in some cases, a small detail can mean the difference between a 25-cent coin and a multi-thousand-dollar collector's item. The next time you come across a 1981 D quarter, take a closer look. You never know if you might have a rare and valuable piece of numismatic history right in your hands. The 1982 D Washington quarter dollar is an interesting coin in the series, and while it may not immediately seem like a high-value rarity, there are certain factors that can make it quite valuable. This quarter was minted at the Denver Mint during a time when the U.S. Mint was undergoing significant production changes. In particular, 1982 was the first year since 1964 that the Mint did not produce uncirculated mint sets, meaning that high-quality examples of the 1982 D quarter are significantly harder to find than those from surrounding years. Because of this, even regular business strike coins in mint state condition command strong prices, and rare errors or high-grade specimens can be worth thousands. The official mintage for the 1982 D Washington quarter was approximately $480,042,788, which is slightly lower than the 1981 D quarter, but still a high number. However, because these coins entered circulation immediately, most examples suffered from heavy wear over time. Unlike other years where collectors could set aside pristine rolls from government-issued mint sets, no such sets existed for 1982 quarters, making well-preserved examples much scarcer. As a result, the 1982 D quarter is one of the tougher modern-clad coins to find in high grades, adding to its numismatic appeal. Coins from this era were struck with slightly worn dies, meaning that many 1982 D quarters exhibit weak strikes or surface abrasions right from the mint. This is an important factor in grading because even fresh from the bank examples often show slight imperfections. In fine condition, a 1982 D quarter will typically show moderate wear on Washington's hair, cheek, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. The details are visible but not sharp, and the rim may show some minor flattening. While a fine condition coin is not considered rare in the general sense, certain varieties and errors can make it highly valuable. One of the most sought-after error varieties for the 1982 D Washington quarter is the double die obverse DDO. A double die occurs when the hub imprints the design onto the working die in slightly different positions, leading to a noticeable doubling effect on parts of the coin. On some 1982-D quarters, doubling is visible on Washington's eye, the Liberty inscription, and the date. These errors can range in value from $500 in lower grades to over $10,000 in high mint state condition, depending on the clarity of the doubling and the coin's overall preservation. Another valuable variety is the off-center strike. This error happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during striking, resulting in a design that is shifted off-center. A mild off-center error, 5 to 10%, might only be worth $100 to $300, but a more dramatic misalignment, 40% or more, with a full date visible, can command prices between $1,500 and $3,000. The greater the misalignment, and the clearer the date, the more valuable the coin becomes. A more subtle but equally intriguing error is the clipped planche variety. This occurs when a portion of the coin's metal blank is accidentally clipped off during the minting process. Clipped planche errors can range from small straight clips to larger curved clips, the latter being more desirable to collectors. Depending on the size and placement of the clip, values for these errors range from $300 to $2,000. One of the biggest factors in determining the value of a 1982D Washington quarter is its overall condition. Coins in lower grades, good to fine, are generally only worth face value to a couple of dollars unless they have a rare error. However, uncirculated examples, graded MS-65 or higher, are highly sought after because they were never included in official mint sets, making them significantly scarcer than other modern quarters. In MS-65 condition, a 1982D Washington quarter can sell for $500 to $1,500 at auction. An MS-67 example, an extremely well-preserved coin with strong luster and minimal contact marks, can fetch upwards of $5,000 to $7,500. The absolute highest graded specimens, MS-68 or better, are nearly impossible to find and could reach $10,000 or more at a major auction as demand for top-tier clad quarters continues to grow. A perfect example of this demand was seen in 2020, when a high-grade MS-68 1982D quarter sold for an astounding $10,200 at a Heritage Auctions event. This record-breaking sale highlights just how valuable high-end examples of this date can be. Because of the lack of official mint sets that year, the supply of pristine coins is incredibly limited, and competition among collectors is fierce. Another factor driving demand for the 1982D Washington quarter is the increased interest in error coins. Collectors are always on the lookout for unique pieces, and the scarcity of high-grade examples from this year has created an exciting niche market. Coins with dramatic errors, such as broad strikes, die clashes, and multiple strikes, have been known to bring in thousands of dollars, especially when authenticated by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC. While the average 1982D Washington quarter in fine condition might not fetch a fortune, there's always the possibility of discovering a hidden gem. Checking coins carefully for doubling, misaligned strikes, or clipped planches can reveal unexpected treasures. Additionally, collectors who assemble full rolls or bags of 1982D quarters have a greater chance of finding a high-grade specimen which could be worth significantly more. Ultimately, the 1982D Washington quarter is a key date for modern-clad coin collectors, not because of low mintage, but due to the lack of mint sets and the difficulty of finding high-quality examples. For those lucky enough to find an uncirculated piece, the potential for high value is undeniable. As interest in modern quarters continues to grow, coins like the 1982D quarter will likely remain highly desirable, making them an exciting and worthwhile addition to any numismatic collection. The 1983P Washington quarter dollar is one of the more intriguing modern quarters due to its relative scarcity in high grades and its increasing demand among collectors. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint did not issue official uncirculated mint sets in 1982 and 1983, making well-preserved examples difficult to find. While the total mintage for this coin was approximately $673,535,000, a significantly high number, most were heavily circulated, making high-quality examples rare and valuable. Even in fine condition, this coin holds interest among collectors due to its historical context, varieties, and potential errors that can make it worth far more than face value. One of the most critical aspects of the 1983P Washington quarter is the fact that the majority of these coins were released directly into circulation. Unlike most years when collectors could obtain pristine examples from official mint sets, the lack of such sets in 1983 means that many surviving quarters from this year exhibit noticeable wear. In fine condition, a 1983P quarter will show significant wear on Washington's hair and cheek, as well as on the eagle's wings and feathers on the reverse. While such coins are generally not worth more than a few dollars, they still attract collector interest due to the overall difficulty of finding well-preserved examples. Despite its large mintage, the 1983P Washington quarter is much harder to find in mint state condition than most other quarters from the 1980s. This is because the bulk of these coins entered circulation immediately, and very few were set aside in pristine rolls or collections at the time. As a result, when high-grade examples appear at auction, they often command substantial premiums. One of the most valuable aspects of the 1983 P quarter is its varieties and errors, which can turn a common coin into a valuable collector's piece. One of the most sought-after varieties is the double die obverse, DDO, which occurs when the coin's design is struck twice in slightly different positions, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect. On some 1983 P quarters, this doubling can be seen on the "In God We Trust" inscription, Washington's eye, and parts of the date. Depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's overall condition, a DDO variety can range from $500 in lower grades to over $10,000 in mint state condition. Another notable error is the off-center strike, which occurs when the blank planche is not properly aligned with the dies during striking. Minor off-center errors, 5 to 10%, might only be worth $100 to $300, but dramatic off-center strikes of 40% or more, especially with a full date visible, can fetch $2,000 to $4,000 or more. The more misaligned the design, the more valuable the coin becomes. A less common but still valuable error is the clipped planche variety. This happens when part of the metal blank is accidentally clipped during the minting process, resulting in a noticeable missing section of the coin's edge. Depending on the size and placement of the clip, values for these errors range from $300 to $2,500, with larger and more well-defined clips commanding higher prices. One of the more unusual and exciting errors found on some 1983 P quarters is the broad strike error, which happens when a coin is struck without the collar that normally holds it in place. This results in a coin with a slightly larger diameter and no reeded edge. Broad-struck quarters, especially from this year, can be worth $500 to $2,000, depending on condition and the clarity of the error. Because the U.S. Mint did not issue official mint sets in 1983, collectors must rely on bank-wrapped rolls, bagged coins, and circulation finds to locate well-preserved examples. This makes high-grade specimens particularly valuable. In MS-65 condition, a 1983 P Washington quarter can sell for $700 to $1,500, and in MS-67, the value can jump to $5,000 or more. The record price for a 1983 P Washington quarter was set at a major auction, where an MS-68 example sold for an astounding $15,862. This record-breaking sale demonstrates just how rare high-grade specimens from this year are, and why collectors are willing to pay significant premiums for them. The absence of government-issued mint sets for this year has only fueled demand for the highest quality examples. Even in lower grades, the 1983 P Washington quarter has gained a reputation as a modern key date in the clad series, meaning it is a critical coin for those assembling a complete collection. While fine condition examples might only fetch $1 to $5, they are still worth holding on to, particularly if they show signs of being a potential error or variety. Collectors who specialize in Washington quarters often seek out full rolls or original government bags from 1983, hoping to find uncirculated examples. The competition for these coins has intensified in recent years, with more collectors recognizing the scarcity of high-grade pieces. For those lucky enough to come across an MS-67 or MS-68 example, the potential for a five-figure payday is very real. Another driving factor behind the growing interest in the 1983 P quarter is the overall increase in demand for error coins and varieties. As numismatics continues to evolve, collectors are becoming more aware of the value hidden in everyday pocket change. This has led to a surge in interest for dramatic errors, double dies, and other unique features that set a coin apart from the rest. Ultimately, while the 1983 P Washington quarter in fine condition might not seem like an extraordinary find at first glance, its historical context and relative scarcity in high grades make it an essential coin for modern collectors. With the potential for valuable varieties and errors, it's always worth examining these coins carefully. Whether you're searching for a dramatic off-center strike, a bold double die, or a high-grade specimen, the 1983 P quarter proves that even a seemingly common modern coin can hold remarkable numismatic value. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Coins Numismatic Series for more in-depth coin analyses, numismatic history, and collecting tips. Stay curious, keep collecting, and I'll see you in the next episode.